Good morning, students. I hope you are all safe at home. In last class, we have revised the November monthly test portion. Today, we are going to see about the lesson transportation. Okay, so this is the 14th chapter in your commerce. Okay, so before going to see about the transportation topic, so already you know about the topic, that is what is meant by transportations, what are the types of transportation, all those things in our earlier classes itself. Okay, so here the transportation is nothing but it facilitates the people to travel from one place to another place. Okay, so the main aim of transportation or main facilities provided by the transport service is it facilitates the people to travel from one place to another. Okay, there are different types of transportations. One is land transportation, ocean transportations, and airways. Okay, so that is landways, waterways, and airways. So this is the main topic in types of transportation. Okay, what is the meaning of transport? Okay, transport includes clerical and mental as well as manual occupation involved in the operation of road, rail, canal, sea and air transport. That is, here they are saying about the road transport, rail transport, canal transport, sea transport and air transports. So in all those things, there is a clerical, mental or manual occupations are involved. That is nothing but the peoples or goods are moved from one place to another. They are carrying these goods or the peoples from one place to another. So this is the main purpose of transportation. Okay, goods have no use unless they are available at a place where they are needed. That is, here they are saying that the goods are produced in one place but it is used in all over the world, or we may say in all over the India. Okay, so in such a case the goods are available at a place where they are needed is satisfied with the use of transport. That is, transport help the consumer, retailer, wholesaler, whatever, or producer, whatever it may be, to get the product at right time and at the right place. Okay, so this is the main aim of transport in case of business. Okay, transport is an integral part of commerce. Therefore we say it as integral part of commerce. It means it carry man as well as material, not only the man as well as the material from one place to the another place, and it create the place and time utilities. Transport create the place and time utilities. It also removes the hindrance of place. What is the mean by hindrance of place? So the unavailability of goods at correct place is known as hindrance of place. So these hindrances are removed by transportation. Okay, so here one definition is given regarding this transport. It is given by K.K. Saxena. The transport system act with reference to the area it serves in the same way as a candle does in a dark room. Do you know what a candle does in a dark room? It gives light to the dark room. Likewise, here the transport system act with reference to the area it serves in the same way as candle does in the dark room. So transportation also gives the service like light, providing light in the dark room. Likewise, for example, if the peoples are needed one goods, means in such case it provide those goods in correct time and satisfy their wants. Therefore it helps the businessman as well as the consumer to get the right product at right place without any delay. So that mentioning those things, according to Saxena, the transport system acts with a reference to the area it serves in the same way as a candle does in a dark room. Okay, so here the purpose is mentioned here. Then types of transport. So now we are going to see about the types of transport. Transport system can be classified in different types. The ways in which the transport systems Also the motive power used in transport are given in these cases. Here, first one is about surface transport. Transport of people and goods by land vehicle is known as surface transport. That is, we are using the land in order to carry the goods. In such a case, we say it is a land transport. It is also called as land transport or surface transport. Then first we are seeing about pack animal. So animals like horse, mule, donkey, camel, elephant, etc. are used for carrying the small loads in backward area. For example, in hilly area or forests and deserts, pack animals are used to carry the goods as well as the people from one place to another. So, generally, the pack animal serves area which are inaccessible to modern means of transport. For example, in those areas, it is very difficult to use the modern means of transport like bus, railways, as well as the bus, railways, and waterways like that. So, animal transport has also played a significant role where there is no road and railway transport. Okay, so in those areas like hilly areas as well as the forest, backward region, and deserts, animals are used to carry the goods from one place to another. Then, next we are seeing about bullock carts. So it constitutes a predominant form of rural road transport. That is, in case of rural areas, so bullock carts is a main transport facilities used by the people to carry the goods as well as the passenger. It links up the villages with the nearby markets and railway stations. So it links the market as well as the railway station with the village people. That is, village people, most of the village peoples are using bullock carts to carry their goods as well as the passenger. It carries the produce for sale to the market. So in villages, the products are produced. Those products like rice, wheat, all those things are carried by these bullock carts, and it reaches the railway station or market, whatever it may be, and the consumer goods to the villages. Okay, that this is about the concept like bullock carts. Next, about path-based transport. So it is the oldest form of transport found in hilly region, forest region, and remote places. So it is used by the human being for transport. That is the so you know about the path. That is, some path is given, laid in between those path. The passengers are carrying their goods. Okay, so it is mostly used by the human beings. Then road transport. So most promising and potent means of suitable short and medium distances, we are using road transport. It provides the basic infrastructure for bringing the majority of the people. Okay, so it gives a number of advantages such as flexibility. Flexibility means we may change according to the situation, reliability, speed, as well as it gives door-to-door delivery. Although these things are importance of road transport. So it is one of the most promising and potent means of suitable for short and medium distances. That is, we are using road transport for short and medium distances. So in road transports we carry we deal about the motor lorries and buses. So from the dawn of civilization, people have been endeavoring to form roads and use wheeled vehicles to facilitate transport. That is, from the starting itself we are using the road transport. Okay, so here introduction of petrol engine and later diesel engine vehicle has been offering good competition to the railways. So after the introduction of the engine and diesel only, so the railways are used. Before that, motor lorries and buses are used to carry the goods as well as the passenger. So here some pictures like pack animals and bullock carts are given. Now we are going to see about the drum base. Okay, so it is made their appreciation in the 19th century itself. Okay, so in big cities these type of drum base are used. So initially horse drawn, later steam powered, and now electrically operated. So these drum base are electrically operated now. It carrying capacity is large. That is, it carry more amount of goods. Okay, So it cope up with the peak, that is peak hour means traffic jam like that. In such a case, in big cities, tramways are used. Okay. Next, we are going to see about in Madras city, tramways are till used in till 1933. Okay. Now we are going to see about the railway transport. So railway is the cheapest mean as well as the quickest means of transport for carrying the goods. So after the invention of the steam engine by James Watt, this type of transports are flourish in the world. Okay. So railway is a mode of transport. It is the most organized transport as well as the cheapest and quickest transport. So nowadays also passengers are going by rail now because it is very cheap. Okay. So railways render an essential public services. It requires huge capital, but in order to lay a railway tracks, it needs a huge capital. Okay. So this is the pictures relating to tramways. Okay. So here railways pictures also given. So Indian Railway is the largest railway organization in the world. Okay. In the world, our railway is the largest one. The Indian nationwide network, the fourth longest in the world, is owned and operated by the state-owned Indian Railways and includes operating route length more than 65,000 km. Okay. Now, railways are among the biggest public utilities of a country. That is, we are using, most of the peoples are using railways for carrying the goods as well as from traveling one place to another place. So, rail transport is a means of transferring of passenger as well as the goods. The rail transport started to be in the industrial revolution. So, it is mostly started in the period of during the period of industrial revolution. Next, there are three types of tracks that are in the operation. They are meter gauge, broad gauge and narrow gauge. Now also it is used. Then advantages of railway transport. What are the advantages of railway transport? Here, railways are suited for carrying the heavy as well as bulky goods in long distance. So if you are going to, the goods are going for long distance, means in such a case they are using the railways, as well as the goods are bulky one, in such case also they are using railways. Then it provide long distance travel throughout the day and night. So day and night, the railways are running day and night, so it is helpful for those goods which going for long ways. It is the cheapest means of transport, and though initial investment is large, that is to lay the railways, we need more investment. In long run, the operating expenses will be very low. Okay. So the investment, that is the first investment is much, whereas in long run it is very low. It requires less time than motor transport. It has regular schedule of timing. That is, we are following railway timings. So there is no delay in the goods. Okay. So and is available throughout the year. It provides unaffected services, whether it is a rainy season, shiny season, whatever it may be. It provides a unaffected services. The disadvantages. It is railway rates are relatively higher than motor transport. So here they are comparing the motor transport. It is inflexible as it operated to a particular track. That is, so railways are running only in track. So if there is no railway track, in such a case, for example, the villages are affected. In rural areas, it cannot offer adequate traffic because of uneconomic operating cost. Next one, recent trends in transportation. So metro rail is one of the recent trends in transportation. Nowadays in Madras also they are using metro rails. Metro rail means mass rapid transport system. It is a convenient one as well as fast and efficient, reliable as well as comfortable mode of urban transport. It is also known as heavy rail, metro, subway, tube or underground. Is a type of high capacity public transport generally found in urban areas. So this type of transport is found only in urban areas. So metro rails. So this is a picture relating to metro rails. So in Madras, they are following this type of railways. Recent trends in transportation. First one is metro. Then next one is monorail. It is like a train, but instead of having two sets of wheels that balance on railway tracks, the monorail is balanced on top of one rail. So this is the concept relating to monorails. Okay, the monorails utilize magnets to hover on the rails, reducing the friction between the train and the rail. The first monorail was invented in the 19th century itself. Then bullet train, next one. The next case is relating to pipeline transport. So pipeline transport is used for carrying the oil, natural gases, petroleum, biofuel, etc. from one place to another. It requires heavy investment to install. Then conveyor transport. It is the broad category of transport mode that includes modes developed from idea of conveyor belt. That is, they are using conveyor belt. So examples includes conveyor belt, two or more pulleys with a continuous loop of material like escalator, elevator. So you see in these type of things in some big departmental stores also. And then next we are going to see about the railway ropeway transport. So it is another means of transport in naval lifting device. It can operated in the place where road construction is impractical and costly. Then hyperloop transport is a proposed system transport that would see ports and travel at a high level speed. Next one is water transport. So water is a free gift of nature. Okay, so from the growth of human civilization itself, we are using the water transport like a river, oceans, all those things are comes under this category. So the main two types of water transport is inland waterways and ocean waterways. Inland waterways includes river, canal and lakes. So it is, we may say it is an internal water transport. Rivers that are naturally navigable are called natural waterways. Canals and canalized rivers belong to the category of artificial waterways. Canals are the man-made waterways constructed for the twin purpose of navigation and irrigation. So here boat house, yacht, all those things are given. They are used in internal waterways. So advantages of inland waterways are considered is the cheapest means of transport. It carries goods smoothly. It is eminently suitable for the carriage of fragile goods like glassware, earth, all those things. It is the most suitable for heavy loads. There is lesser pollution in water transport, and initial investment on river is also very less. The disadvantages of inland water transport: it is slowest means of transport. Floods caused during the rainy season. Sometimes river also change their direction. So ocean or sea transport, it is playing a significant role in the development of economic, social and cultural relations. That is, for foreign trade we are using international for ocean transport. So international trades grows with the help of ocean transport. Then cheapness is its great virtue in the transportation of low grade bulky goods among the countries. The role of ocean transport is commendable one. Then types of transport, that is ocean transport. It may be divided into two categories. One is coastal shipping. It is a important means of transport in all countries having a long coastal line. It also a cheapest means of transport. Like coal, iron, ore, all those things are moved from one place to another from domestic ports of country. And next one is overseas shipping. It means passengers and goods have to cross the ocean. Example, Indian export goods to America. So here also trams, all those things are used. Okay, so today we finished the lesson relating to transport. So we see about different types of transport, meaning of transport and the definition given by Hexen, as well as the advantages as well as disadvantages of the different types of transport. Okay students, prepare well, don't waste your time, submit your assignment on correct time, practice it, don't waste your time, do the assignment and submit it on correct time. Thank you students.